Yo, what's up guys? You might be moving from Warzone, Valorant, Fortnite, whichever game, and learning, how do I play Apex? How do I get better? How do I learn this game the right way? How do I get good fast? In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to learn Apex as a beginner and to get good fast. Let's get right into the video. A lot of people are moving from Warzone, different games, and wanting to learn Apex. This is gonna be the video that you're gonna wanna watch. So, before we start, the things that you need to understand before playing Apex. The time to kill, it's a lot longer than other games like Call of Duty, Fortnite. Fights are really long, which also means there's gonna be a lot of third parties. So you have to be very patient and understand that mechanic of the game going into it. Number two, health doesn't regenerate. In games like Call of Duty, your health regenerates after you're by yourself, you're behind a wall. You have to heal in this game. Some characters like Octane and Watson do heal on their own, but that is an ability. The basis is that characters do not heal themselves, so you have to keep that in mind. If your muscle memory is, I'm gonna automatically heal, that's not the case in Apex. You have to heal, you have to have healing items, you have to pay attention to that part of the game. Another thing that's really important in Apex, the movement is way different. Now, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. The sliding mechanic feels so smooth. The jumping, you know, there's more advanced movements like tap strafing, wall bouncing. We won't get into that into this video, but the movement is something that you have to get used to. I know like in Call of Duty, you do slide canceling. In Apex, you have to sprint and get the momentum to slide in. And that's a whole nother thing of getting used to it, you know, as far as the jumping and climbing. But that's one thing that you also have to understand. And the final thing that you need to understand before we start is you need to understand your legend that you're playing, but also your teammates' legends and other legends that you're playing against, such as enemies, because it's important to learn this as you play more so you can read how the situation needs to be played, and you can also know what to expect of other legends on your team as well to help you win more fights. Without further ado, let's start the guide. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do when you open up Apex is you're going to want to hop in to the tutorial. Now, how you do that is you can see this little red highlighted box. You click on that or press A on that if you're on console, and you'll see all these game modes. It's going to look very foreign to you. What you're going to want to do is you see training up here. Now, that's the tutorial for the game that can help you understand the healing mechanic, the res mechanic, the shooting mechanic, how to ping, how to communicate with your teammates without a mic. It's very important to understand the very basics of this game before you jump into anything. I think the training is a really good tool to help you, you know, just get used to the game as fast as possible. Now, once you finish with that, you're either going to want to stay there, or if it kicks you back to the main menu, you're going to want to go back into the modes where it says trios or duos or ranked, whatever it says for you. Click on this box and go to the firing range. And once we go to the firing range, I'll show you pretty much how you can learn the game. And I know it's going to be information overload, especially if you have a super try-hard, sweaty, you know, TTV Wraith as your teammate trying to tell you a million things at once. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I don't even know what gun I like. Like, you're going to have to chill. I'm trying to learn the game. So this is the best way to learn at your pace. And I think that's super important because a lot of times when people jump into Apex, the skill gap or the learning curve of just understanding the game and all of the attachments, there's a lot of stuff that you have to take in. So the best way to understand the game the fastest, go into the firing range. And that's what we're going to do in this guide. And I'll show you exactly what to do, what steps to take, and the most effective way to understand the game, you know, at your pace, but also faster than normal. When I started playing Apex, I didn't know what certain attachments did for months, or I didn't know certain parts of the game for, you know, way too long. So I honestly wish I had a video like this to help me if I was just starting out Apex. So I'm trying my best to help you out so you can skip all those steps and questioning, and you can skip that, you know, mystery section that I had and the struggle bus, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go in the fire range. Let's show you. Once you click a mode 2, you also want to click the ready button that's in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. All right, so once you get into the firing range for the first time, it's gonna put you in this tunnel. You're gonna see this little banner. It's called a Predator badge, Apex Predator. It's the highest rank in the game. You're going to want to run down to this. This is after you do the tutorial. And as you can see, there's a lot going on. All these different targets moving. You know, you got these rocks, all these statues. You got these the zip lines, the yellow zip lines. You got birds going off right here. There's a lot going on. You run down here, and what you're gonna see is, you know, these dummies. I would know, I am one. You'll see these red dummies, and you can pretty much use them as target practice, as well as all of the other targets in the firing range. But before we shoot at them, you're gonna see all of the attachments, the ammo, the guns, the grenades, the healing items, the shields, the backpacks, helmets, knockdown shields. I mean, there's a lot going on, right? So if I were you, what I would do is I would start from either left to right or right to left. That way you don't get confused. And I would pick up and read every attachment that you can and understand why it's important for the game. Guns usually have a magazine to give you more clips, a sight to see through, a barrel stabilizer, or a stock to help with mobility, switching your guns in and out, or just, you know, stabilizing the recoil. One important thing is that every type of gun is classified as snipers or light guns or shotguns, energy guns, and what happens is they have their specific ammo that's also color-coded with the class. So that's one thing that keeps it really nice and easy, is when you pick up a gun, say I pick up the Sentinel, see on the bottom right-hand corner how everything is like that, you know, that light purple color? It's really important because, you know, you can assess the color of the ammo and the color of the gun to figure out what kind of ammo you need, right? So that's really nice, as when you get into a game, you can kind of look at the color of your gun, match it with the ammo, that's what you need. But yeah, so what I would do if I were you is I would look and read all of these attachments, because the attachments are so important. They basically improve the quality and the efficiency of your gun. And one important note I must make before we continue is that every gun, every attachment item, and every shield or healing item has its own rarity. You have common, which is white or grayish colored. Then you have rare, which is blue. Then you have epic, which is purple. And then you have gold, which is yellow or gold. And then for shield only, you have, or shield or guns, you have the red color, which is the best in the game. Depending on which character you use, sometimes gold can be better than red, but that's basically the levels I want to lay out to you. You know, you say you have white, blue, purple, gold, and red. So you're going to want to look through all of these guns. You're going to figure out which guns you like, which ones you don't like. Try to remember the names. You know, the names are, when you walk up to them, you can see what they're called, or the bottom right, you can see what they're called in your inventory. Once you press your inventory button, this isn't really important. It's tab on mouse and keyboard. On controller, I'm not quite sure what it could be. It might be like select. But it pulls up this screen where you can see how many slots you have for however many items. You can have your guns. On PC, you know, you can switch them like this. You'll have a survival slot, that's a little bit more advanced. We're not really going to cover all of that. We'll try to cover that in a different video. You have your backpack slot, which enables you to have more room in your inventory. A knockdown shield protects you when you're downed. A shield gives you more health. And a helmet slot to decrease the head damage that you take from opponents. So if I were you, I'd get familiar with all of this stuff, the attachments, which grenades do what, you know, throw them, mess around with everything, shoot the guns, put on different armors, look at the different heal. There's small heals, which are cells, and there's big heals, which are batteries. And then same for the white health, syringes are the small, med kits are the big. Then you have a Phoenix kit, which is like a chug jug. Ultimate accelerants charge your ultimate. So every character has their passive ability, which doesn't show on the screen. You can look it up in the character selection screen. You have your tactical ability, which you can use pretty frequently. And then you have your ultimate ability, which is your strongest ability. It has the longest cooldown time. There's a lot when it comes to this game of Apex, but once you get to learn it, once you understand it, it's a great game. It's very well made, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So the firing range will be your home for the longest time. You don't have people shooting at you, rushing to loot. You can just understand all of the items in the game as fast as possible. You can go into a game and you'll be much more prepared after you've spent some time in the firing range messing with everything. Because I think that's the hardest thing for a new player, is just looting in the beginning. Looting is the most underrated skill. It's really tough when you don't know what the items are in the game, and I think the firing range will help you phenomenally. Then you can also pick up your character in the character selection screen in the firing range. There should be a button for that. It is the map button in mouse and keyboard. It should be the same in controller. And you can see all of the different legends for you. You'll probably have a lot of these legends in the bottom, in the middle, locked and grayed out, but you can earn tokens to unlock them for free later on. But yeah, you pretty much, as you see at the bottom of the screen, you can check out their passive, tactical, and their ultimate, and you can just scroll through and find out which character works for you. I can make a video about this explaining which character does what in their play style, and you know, which could fit you best. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments and we can cover that in a video and go a deep dive so you can find out who your main is. But for now, just find which character looks the coolest, sounds the coolest with the abilities, and learn that character as much as you can, inside and out. That way you're not thinking, it's one less thing that you have to do and think about while you're playing the game. You want this to feel as natural, as fast as possible. So once you find your legend, play them, learn them inside and out, then you've also took the tutorial, you've learned the attachments, the guns, you've understood the heals. Then you want to go to your settings and figure out which settings work best for you, which sensitivity feels best if you're on controller, mouse, and keyboard. I could make another video on my settings if you guys would like to see that and explain why I do what I do. That would be awesome. But the key here is to read, and read. And I understand, I am not a reader. You will not catch me sitting on a couch reading a book anytime soon. Have I read? Yes. Am I dumb still? Yes. But with Apex, if you want to learn the game, you have to read. The information on the items in the game will help you tremendously if you just take your time and read and try to understand what it means. And you will not end up like me, where I took months to understand the simplest of things. So that's my biggest emphasis, is to read everything in the game as far as items, characters, and it will help you tremendously. Now, once you get all of this done, you'll want to go into a game, use your practice from their firing range, pick up guns you liked using, practice your abilities, understand how they work, learn the movement, learn the positioning, get your game IQ up. An important thing to get better also is to take more fights and loot less. A lot of newer players loot way too much. You want to take fights, play aggressive, learn from it. The biggest part of dying in a game and wanting to improve is to learn from it, not blame it on something. How could I have approached the situation different? Which positioning could I have took? Was it a bad push? What is a bad situation? There's so many things that you can look of the different outcomes and the different ways you could have approached it, rather than just blaming it on, you know, the gun or the legend they were using. But slowly but surely, the more time you put in, the faster you will get better at this game. Trust me. Try to learn from your mistakes and what you could have done better, and you will become a better player. My name is ElectricityWave. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video and this helped you out, I would very much appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more coming, and you want to turn on those bell notifications, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on a lot of quality stuff. I've been playing this game for 15 to 2,000 hours. I've been playing this game for over 1,500 hours, and I'm trying my best to help out beginners and newer players get better and improve at this game and learn it well. If you guys want to come hang out on the Twitch stream, you can also check me out at twitch.tv/electricitywave. All of my socials are down in my description. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. We'll see you in the next one, and hopefully you get those dubs. Later, guys. Peace.